Welcome to my channel. I'm the Profane Primate. So I've been watching My Big Fat Fabulous Life for the last, what has it been, 10 years now? And I've always wanted to see a compilation video of Whitney Way Thore's worst moments because, let's face it, she has a lot of them. To my surprise, no one's ever made that video. So I figured if no one else has, it is up to moi to do it. So let's get started.
My name is Whitney Way Thore. I'm 30 years old. I'm fabulous. I live at home with my parents.
Now, if you are anything like me, you laughed at how a 30-year-old could call herself fabulous after saying that she lives with her parents. But when I watched this over again, I actually looked up the definition of the word fabulous, and it means extraordinary, especially extraordinarily large. So she is technically not wrong. She is definitely fabulous.
I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. That's PCOS for short. I never got above 140 or 145 pounds in high school. And then my first year of college, I had put on 100 pounds. Then I gained another 100 pounds over the next few years. And that was so frustrating to me because nobody could look past the fact that my body was fat and they just assumed that I was lazy.
So here Whitney is trying to imply that she just magically gained 100 pounds each year in college out of thin air, not because of her eating habits, but because she has polycystic ovarian syndrome. So basically it was through no fault of her own.
PCOS consists of three things. Balding. This is all delicious weave right here. This is not real hair.
My goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bearding, lathered up my shaving cream, shaved my face and everything, and being fat.
No, that is not true. Whitney acts like she wants to educate people about pcos, but gives completely inaccurate information. Not everyone with pcos is balding or bearding. I myself have pcos and don't have any of those symptoms. And she says it consists of being fat, as if it's an inevitability that everyone with pcos is just going to be fat, which is not true. If you have a shitty diet that consists of you eating more calories than you burn, pcos can make it so you will gain weight a little more easily than someone who does not have pcos. But pcos in of itself cannot magically make fat accumulate out of thin air. Keep in mind that when you lose weight, it can decrease some of the symptoms of PCOS because when you lose weight, your androgen levels will go down. When I was obese, I would go months without having a period. After losing about 30 pounds, my period went back to coming every 28 days like normal.
You don't have to be, again, a Barbie weight to significantly reduce your risk for diabetes.
Fatness and fitness can kind of coexist.
They can.
See, that's what I believe. That's what I really think, and I feel like I've lived that way. She didn't fat shame me like a lot of other doctors do, which was a nice change of pace.
Whitney says doctors fat shame her. What fat activists like Whitney mean when they say fat shaming is that someone told them the truth, that they need to lose weight or they are at serious risk of disease, diabetes, cancer, and early death.
And she confirmed that you can be fat and fit.
Yeah, Whitney, I don't actually think the doctor was saying you can be fat and also fit. I think she's just saying that if you are fat, it is better to be active so you don't turn into one of those people from my 600-pound life who need a crane lift to get anywhere. At least I hope that's what the doctor means, because if not, she needs to stop practicing medicine.
Nobody knows that I haven't been fat my whole life, and then you're just gonna smooth it right on out. Nobody knows that I used to be athletic. Nobody knows that I, have polycystic ovarian syndrome, and that makes me fat.
No, PCOS does not make you fat. You make your own self fat. You are in control of your own life, you are in control of your own body, and you are in control of what you put into your body. You and you alone.
Well, did they weigh you?
Yeah, they did.
So what was the number?
I don't know why you hear so much about a number, but it was 380, so.
And so how much are you going to lose?
What does that mean? Ooh.
That sound means that your father, who loves you, does not want you to die an early death or have a limb amputated because of your extreme obesity.
Well, that's a lot more than you were even 6 months ago. So.
Well, I know, but PCOS makes it really easy to gain weight and hard to lose, and.
So how much are you planning on losing?
I mean, I hadn't planned it, but maybe 100.
Why only 100? Is there another number that you could?
This woman is at 380 pounds and thinks that an acceptable weight for her is 280. To put this into perspective, at her 5'2" height, a healthy BMI would put her, at most, 135 pounds. And she wants to be 280.
I'm afraid if you don't get on a good weight loss program that you will not be able to find the person that you like. Yeah, I mean, it just narrows your field, unfortunately.
So you're saying that
He still lives in the
guys
50s.
don't like fat women? Because newsflash, dudes like fat girls.
This was filmed 10 years ago. 10 years later, and Whitney is still crying on her show how she's 40 and doesn't have a husband and doesn't have any kids.
Do you know how many men have written and told me your body is perfect? To them, I'm like a swimsuit model to you.
Those are men who have something called a sexual fetish, Whitney. You do not want to date those men.
I've never had to settle to go on a date with some dude that I didn't want to go out with just because I'm fat. At 380 pounds, I've taken to shaving my legs in a non-traditional space, because if I were to sit on the edge of the bathtub like most women do and then lean and try to prop my foot out, like I can't possibly. Can you shave the back of my legs? The worst part is that I can't maneuver my body around to get to the back. So I asked my mom for help.
What really irks me is that there are people out there who are disabled through no fault of their own, who can't do things like shave their own legs, but Whitney here has disabled herself, essentially.
I think I disappoint my dad a lot when I am not losing weight.
You're up to 250, 300 calories maybe.
And the thing about PCOS, if I'm not actively losing weight, I'm pretty much just gaining. So I'm not on a very specific plan. I think my dad is dying inside. Slowly, but surely.
Whitney, if anyone is dying inside slowly but surely, it is you.
I love a banana and mayonnaise sandwich. It is a Southern staple. Banana and peanut butter is not what we do. We do banana and mayonnaise.
Banana and mayonnaise sandwich? This is just gross. Are there Southerners out there who actually eat this stuff? I've never heard of it.
I'm not the kind of person, especially because of my PCOS, who can just stop drinking soda and, walk a mile every day and lose a bunch of weight.
That is literally how I lost most of my weight, having pcos. At the start of my diet, I didn't even track calories. I just stopped drinking sugary drinks and dropped 10 pounds within a month. Assuming that you don't eat more calories when you give up soda, you will absolutely lose a lot of weight, especially if you are as big as Whitney.
What about this? Ow!
Let's stick to what we're going to get. Your pants ripped.
I'm an expert in pants splitting. These are things that skinny girls don't experience.
Whitney, even skinny girls can rip their pants if they are too tight.
I got an extra pair in the glove compartment. Let's make a run for it.
Here we go, just like the little engine that could. I'm walking, but you're stepping on my toes. And the big caboose, trying to sneak out of the store without being noticed. Whitney, really, it just looks like a big pack.
No, it doesn't, Mom.
Okay. Oh my God, please. Flowered underwear. Now, in my family, we always wear white. Where did I go wrong?
So you're telling us, Whitney, that you're so embarrassed that your panties are showing that you go outside and strip down to them where people can see you. I wonder how much her panties cost. Like, you could take this one pair and use it to make 20 other pairs of normal size panties. In this next scene, Whitney is having Tal measure her for a modeling gig, and the measuring tape isn't even big enough to fit around her.
No, it doesn't fit.
I'm kind of shocked that, my hips don't even fit in the measuring tape. I think surely that must be a small one.
Are we back in business?
Mom has this one.
Oh, that looks like caution tape.
No. Thanks, dude, for pointing that out.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Whitney is offended that Tal says it looks like caution tape. Whitney, you are damn near 400 pounds. That is twice the amount of weight any normal human being should be. Yes, there should be a big tape around you that reads caution because you are a great danger to yourself and anyone around you should you accidentally fall.
Dad, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
It is a legit, living, breathing, judging medical scale in all its glory.
See how much of a victim complex fat activists have? A scale isn't a device that shows a true and accurate measurement. No, they are a device that judges you.
I swear to God, I do not hate this body. I love it. I look at it naked. I photograph myself naked. I love it.
You're horribly abusing your body and saying you love it. This is equivalent to not brushing your teeth and saying that you love the sight of them, or smoking a pack of cigarettes a day and saying that you love your black lungs. Like, this is just disgusting.
I'm getting like social anxiety because people invite me places and I'm scared I can't fit in the chair. And like, then I can't go where I want to go. And I have to like feel like I have to stake out wherever I'm going to see if I can fit there, or it makes me like not even want to, go out with my friends anymore. Part of my whole like epiphany that I've had about my life is that I can live life fully even though I'm fat.
So right after Whitney says she needs to stake out restaurants and can't just go anywhere because she's fat, she says she can live fully while being fat. Make it make sense.
Well, what's in the bag?
It's hard to find in my size.
Oh, a two-piece.
Well, yeah.
You don't think you'd be more comfortable in a one-piece bathing suit?
Why would I be more comfortable with more wet Lycra on my body?
Oh, I don't know, just a thought.
Whitney's poor dad always looks so uncomfortable about his daughter's weight issue.
Can we redo this? Because what I would have really loved is for me to take out the bathing suit and you say, that looks great. Because that never seems to happen.
Well,
let's just pretend I just try to muster. Can you muster?
Yeah.
Here's my bathing suit.
And it's a two-piece, so I hope you, it looks like it's going to...
You can't, Dad, you can't even do it. That's how much you can't believe it. It's just a freaking stomach. Like, what is the big deal?
Whitney, try to understand your dad is very old, and in his generation, there were hardly any obese people walking around, especially young obese women walking around. It's understandable that an old person like him really can't believe that society would embrace an almost 400-pound woman in a bikini.
I used to be under the impression that men who liked fat women did not exist, but I've come to find out that there are lots of men who appreciate a fat woman.
Again, those are men who have fetishes. Let's look at an example.
I was just thinking of something that I'd seen on the internet. It's squashing. You know what it is? Come on, I can tell by the gleam in your eye.
He's going to approach two young women in the bar that he doesn't know in public and bring up squashing. I've been propositioned for squashing more times than I'd like to admit. And it is basically where a very large woman puts the full force of her weight onto a smaller man. And I can't believe that I was expecting him to bring up a threesome, something a little more mainstream, not squashing.
This is just sad. Don't be anyone's fetish, people. Don't abuse your body.
He's into the BBWs, I guess. The BB dubs. Those are the big, beautiful women, like myself. Actually, I realized I'm not even a BB dub. I am an SSBB dub, which means super-sized BB dub. Oh, God. See, it's kind of depressing.
Yes, it is depressing, Whitney. While you are laughing, your heart and your joints are crying. But as we will see, Whitney's weight is not the only reason she cannot land a man.
Whitney does not have a good track record at getting a second date.
I don't think it's my fault that I'm not getting a second date. I totally think it's because I haven't met someone that I like enough.
That's one way to look at it.
Babs has always been the best part of this show.
On a date, Whitney does have some strange topics She will talk about anything that's wrong with her, any problems that she has.
I hope this doesn't gross you out because I know you're like into feet, but I actually have plantar fasciitis.
I think that could not ever possibly turn men on.
You are so thin. It reminds me of like my friends who are like really skinny. When they take off their clothes or whatever, it looks like baby clothes to me. Because like I'm just not used to seeing stuff that small. I'm like, what shirt is this?
If you're fat, ladies, you do not spend part of the day talking about how small the man is in comparison to you.
You know, I just need a man that like understands me, you know?
You don't need to be working on somebody that understands you. You need to work on somebody who can stand you.
Amen, Babs. Amen.
I still have challenges, you know, but I feel great in my body. Like, I mean, I'm really lucky that every time, you know, I go to the doctor every year. I just went to the specialist at Duke, and no high blood pressure, no high cholesterol.
I noticed that all fat activists claim they don't have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. I don't buy it, and neither should you.
You've moved into a pre-diabetic state. What we had feared for a number of years, that something with her health would manifest itself, and all of a sudden it was here.
This is the last episode of the season, and I think it's a fitting episode as it's showing the audience that being obese is not, in fact, fabulous.
This is a wake-up call for you, sweetheart, that while you've been healthy up to this point, it's starting to
Affect you now.
I can't lose 200 pounds.
Oh,
Just like that, how much time do I have before I get it?
you've
Wow.
got time, honey. You've got plenty of time.
It scares out of me to think about what I'm going to have to do and how fast I'm going to have to do it.
Scares the shit out of you, like Whitney is going to war or something. Cut to 10 years later, she is pretty much the same size.
But I'm going to do it.
And this is why I liked the first couple seasons of My Big Fat Fabulous Life, if I'm perfectly honest, because she had this determination to at least lose some of the weight. But it's not until we get to later seasons that she's basically like, F it, I'm great the way I am. I don't need to lose a single pound.
One of the things that you talked about so much is like you can be heavy and you can be healthy, right? And we bought into that. And then in the last episode, we learned that you've been diagnosed with prediabetes, and that kind of flipped all that on its head. Like, what's going on with that?
Well, I still absolutely believe that you can be heavy and healthy.
So on the reunion episode, we learned that Whitney has really not learned anything.
I would like to change the negative stereotype that the word fat has, because I think that you can be fat, and I think you can be fabulous and smart and talented and pretty and active and even healthy.
The producer's like, yeah, girl, okay, sure.
But I have to say, I want to lose maybe 100, 150 pounds. I'm probably never going to be thin, but I will be healthy and I will be fit.
Why wouldn't you aspire to be thin? Why wouldn't you aspire to have a healthy BMI? The only reason you wouldn't is because you love food more than you love yourself.
I'm really committed to being myself, and I am a fat woman who still eats an occasional piece of pizza, sometimes not so occasional. You know, I don't want to lose weight because of the way I look. I actually am quite fond of my body. I know that sounds scary to a lot of people, but I see myself naked all the time, and I like it.
Okay.
Well, that's it for the first season of My Big Fat Fabulous Life. If you liked it and want to see the next seasons, then please subscribe to my channel, like this video if you liked it, and peace and happiness and health to you all.